all, congratulations on getting the Trustees Award. Would you be able to share with us a little bit about how you won this award and how you heard about it and what the application process was and all that stuff?
Sure. One day I opened up this email that was a couple of days old, and I read about the system-wide scholarships, which are scholarships that span across the entire California State University system. Anyone could apply for them. And I read about one of the top awards, which offered the most money. I only had 10 days to submit my application, right? So I just told myself that this will be worth my time. I should definitely do this. And I immediately emailed professors and I asked them to write me letters of recommendation. I started writing my application essay. And of course, I still had to stay focused on my academic classes. But after 10 days, I submitted my application. The essay prompt required me to write about challenges that I faced and how I've succeeded in spite of them. I wrote about my family and some of the issues in my country. I had to attach my transcript and 2 letters of recommendation. And then, fast forward 2 months and I found out that I won. So since then, there's been an awards ceremony and I've been able to Zoom with President Connolly and as well as my scholarship donor. It's all been very special and pleasant. Now that I guess I have the funds, I thought about pursuing a double major with the second degree being in physics. This was always a dream of mine, and now it could be possible with the extra money. It wasn't really going to be possible before. There are some other issues I face, like I can only do that if I stay under the unit cap, so that there's a maximum of 144 units that I can take. But yeah, I suppose if I can't do that, I might double major in something else, and we'll have to see.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Can I ask you how you found California State Long Beach and what made you decide to come here?
Sure. I was in 10th grade when I thought, okay, I'm going to try to study in the United States. There was some things going on at home that I wasn't happy about. And I just felt like I didn't have freedom, but I was still just a teenager. So I couldn't go places. I couldn't drive. I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. So I thought, oh, okay, America, that's the solution. I started applying to universities. And after a while, I found out about CSULB. I looked into the campus's program. They had, aerospace engineering, which not every university offered. And they also had physics. So I noticed the school was in Southern California, close to, different aerospace engineering companies like SpaceX or Boeing or Virgin Orbit. And of course, it's also the home of Hollywood, which meant a lot to me because I did a lot of performing arts in high school. So all of these factors made it very appealing. Yeah. And I guess the icing on the cake was really just that the school's called The Beach and it's very close to the beach. So it all seemed great. And I couldn't fly out to America, to check it out, or the United States, rather, I should say. But the campus became my top choice out of all of the places that I applied to once I just started looking into things.
I was wondering if you noticed any significant differences between the education system in South Africa and the one in the United States, and if Cal State Long Beach helped you kind of figure out how the system works, and if you have anything to say to international students who are looking into studying here and aren't quite sure about how the American university system works.
I want to say right off the bat that it is different, but for the most part, I can say I find the work to be challenging. I have less class time than I expected I would have, which I suppose is better since most people learn at their own pace, and the students that are struggling can still go to get tutoring, which the campus provides, and other students can use that time to get ahead or be part of some extracurricular activity, which I've learned is very important if you want to land a job. Employers want to know what you do in your free time. The academic advising was quite helpful because I think back home, they don't choose their courses. It's all laid out. Whereas here, there's a lot more flexibility in which classes you want to take to meet certain requirements. So I think that's very nice. Instead of just taking some sort of writing course. I could take a writing course about science fiction or about comedy in the United States, or maybe some kind of social issue. So I enjoy the freedom, and it is different in that way. And I guess the advisors have helped me to understand how to navigate all these differences.
Right. You see that there's a focus on extracurricular activities. Are there any clubs or organizations that you've specifically joined, or any extracurricular activities that you've been up to?
I feel like I've been all over the place. I guess most university students can relate. Maybe those first 2 years, you sort of you go to all these different clubs and you see what they're about. And I've joined the Beach Launch Team, which is a rocket organization. So they meet up and they build rockets and they launch them in the desert. That's been a very cool experience. The
That sounds
school,
awesome.
yeah, the school has a budget, so they get to spend some money and on these rockets. And I mean, you learn a lot. It's a very professional environment, and people from this organization get what's the word? Sourced, like they get recruited for major companies. And I wouldn't have been able to do that back home. I don't even think there's an aerospace engineering degree offered by any university. So yeah, I've joined that club. I've considered, I do some other things, but nothing that I can really speak to. I haven't committed to anything as much. I've just sort of bounced around, I guess. I'm really into student government. I shadowed the previous incumbent commissioner for environmental justice, which is such a mouthful, but she was a really great person, and I learned a lot about just American politics in general, the way student government works, what I can do to make a difference.
Are there any professors or faculty members that make you feel welcome? And can you talk about how they did that and how that helped you be more comfortable over here?
Most of my professors are very nice. I think if I hadn't spoken to them, I would just have been some kind of student. I think teachers rely on a back and forth as much as the students wanted to be there. So, I have fond memories of talking to foreign professors about where they're from and what their journey was like and where they're working at. And I guess I can see myself in them, especially because I guess part of my dream involves being a professor one day. That's just a career path I'm interested in. So I suppose, yeah, those are professors I'm very fond of.
Yeah.
They've always been they would understand that I don't know everything that your like typical American student might know. Especially in my political science class, that was very important because things can move at such a rapid pace that they'll start talking about stuff that I just don't understand. And, I'm there to learn about American politics, whereas most people already know about it to some degree. So I find that whenever I just communicate with the professors, it's always a pleasant experience. I have a few professors I'm fond of, but for the most part, they're all great.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good to hear, both as a student and as someone working for the university. Are there any resources that you have used a lot or that you would greatly recommend to new incoming international students on campus?
For the average international student, there is the computer center. It's just a big building filled with computers. You can go there, you can print things. I used that a lot my first year because I didn't have a laptop with me. So that was very beneficial, and I'm sure other international students will find that useful. And then more specifically as an engineering student, what I've used a lot more recently is the Engineering Student Success Center, where they have tutoring and just, I guess, other engineering students. I'll run into my friends in the building, and I've hung out there to do work. They have like quiet zones where you can study. So I've used that a lot, and occasionally they have free coffee. So I've been there when I was there before quarantine started.
Awesome. All of this happened. Did you have a favorite place on campus that you like to hang out at, or that you could find yourself being very, very often?
Yeah, so on the second floor of the university Student Union, yeah, I guess a quad is the best way I can describe it. It's in the sun. There's some couches there. I would just love to go to this area and sit on the couches, maybe lay in the sun or get in the shade. I could take naps there. I could study there. I've made friends there. I've just, struck up conversations. Calm area, and it's beautiful in how, I guess, candid it is. There's the Japanese gardens, which are, I guess, like they're just beautiful because there's so much nature and animals, and it's amazing to see like how the water streams flow. But the area in the University Student Union is just such a candid environment, and I love just being there and feeling like a part of the university. So I love going there.
That sounds great. Yeah, my favorite spot was always I think it was the fourth floor of the library because it's quiet and it's very chill. Yeah.
And I'm sure there must be a nice view too because it's pretty high up.
It is. Yeah. It's really nice. Something, I don't know if are you working on any specific things right now that you would like to tell people about, like any research that you're doing or anything else specifically that don't pertain to your classes?
My personal goal is actually to start an online e-commerce store because I just feel like that's the kind of thing that would always be helpful. Like if I could start it now and maintain it, and if it was sustainable, that would be the kind of thing to help me throughout my entire life. So that's just a small personal goal that's not related to anything, school or university related. I mean, so.
Yeah, perfect. And would you say that like starting your own e-commerce company would be something you could see yourself do in the future as well, or do you have any other goals? Because obviously you are an aerospace engineering student. Do you see yourself working in that industry for an aerospace company, or do you see yourself starting your own business?
Yeah, that's a good question. Just, basically, where do I see myself in the future? I guess I will be looking for internships soon. I guess if I land my foot in the door and I strike up some opportunity, I'll take it. But if that doesn't work out, I'm very interested in going to graduate school and getting a PhD. I've always thought that I would enjoy being a professor. I like talking to people and helping students. So I could see myself doing that. The reason why I'm so interested in this whole e-commerce idea is just because I guess, and it's not even passive income. I guess it's just something I can do from home and online. So I could always do it. And I don't have to worry about visas and passports. And I don't know. I don't have to worry about those things really, but I'm just so focused on this whole e-commerce thing. It's just a personal thing, I guess.
That's perfect, and I think that's a pretty good industry to be working in. I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. I think lastly, do you have any advice that you would give international students that might be worried about what school is going to look like in the United States, or that are on the verge of deciding and don't really know what school to go to? Do you have any advice for them that you think would have helped you if someone would have told you that before you started attending?
I guess it's always important to know yourself and to know what you're interested in. I think a lot of people change their majors throughout their college experience, but I guess, I don't quite know. I might need a second. What I want to say is that being far from home is quite challenging, and there's a lot of doubt that creeps in for just a general university student. But as a foreign student, I think it can be especially challenging. You start questioning, why you're so far from home. Maybe you're far from family. Maybe you think about whether or not this is really what you want for your life. And I would say most of those feelings are normal, and local students feel that too. So it always helps to just know yourself and to know that you're passionate about what you're studying and that you love what you do. Because if you start studying something that you're not interested in, I think the doubt will just be so much worse. Luckily, there are resources and hopefully there are always friends that will help you through those kinds of situations. You never have to be alone. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think that was that was a great answer. And I mean, I want to thank you again for doing this interview with us. And
I'm flattered. Thank you, honestly. Anything that might help international students or just get the story out that you don't have to be at an Ivy League to succeed or to accomplish something great. I'm just so grateful for this reward. Honestly, I didn't think I would get it, and I didn't. I don't know. It just seems like out of my league. So when I got it, I was definitely running around and super happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jayden.